What's up, Linda? How are you and Joey doing? Don't really have much to update on or anything. I was just bored. Don't have anything else to do. Well, actually, we have plenty to do. I guess I'm trying to procrastinate. But we are still hoping to leave tomorrow. I'm not sure yet what time, but yeah, nothing has changed as far as our plans go. We're going to head to Fiji tomorrow, hopefully. That's good. Happy to hear it. It's just one of those days, it feels like today. What is it? It's Friday. See, I don't even know what day it is. But yeah, so if we leave tomorrow, Saturday, to sail to Fiji, we're looking at, I think it's 1,800 miles from Bora Bora to Fiji. So if we can average 100 miles per day, that'll put us in about 18 days sailing from here to Fiji. But that's going to be nice because we're going to start being much closer to mainland. I think Fiji is a lot cheaper of a place to be. I hope, because it's very expensive here. I guess Bora Bora is cheaper compared to Tahiti, but Fiji and those islands will be even cheaper still. So if anyone's just joining, hit that like button, subscribe. My wife and I are getting ready to sail from Bora Bora to Fiji as we continue on during our circumnavigation of the world. Thank you, Linda. I'm excited too. I feel good about this. I feel good that we can continue on, sail around the world, fulfill my dream, and still end up back on the side of the United States that we wanted to. Because if we would have went to Hawaii, we would have had to go to the west coast of the US, and I think that would have delayed us getting back to the East Coast by probably another year or so. So I think this is a faster timeline for us, and yeah, it fulfills a dream, and we get to end up on the East Coast with a home. So even if we end up draining our bank account and being broke, at least we end up on the East Coast with a home to live on until we can make more money. I might have to end up closing. Actually, maybe what I could do is spin around, because this is protected from the wind for the most part. The boat keeps swinging around in all different directions, and the sun keeps shining in my eyes. The wind's blowing from, depending on where the boat is pointing. But yeah, so I think that this way around the world will be the better choice. And the plan is to be back in the Caribbean definitely by this time next year, but probably by February or March of next year. So from here to Fiji, to Vanuatu, to Indonesia, potentially up to Thailand, because we'd probably be able to haul out our boat and get some work done for cheaper, and then back down to Indonesia, waiting for the World Arc to catch up. And then when they head down to this little island off of Australia, we'd probably go down and try to head down at the same time to cross the Indian Ocean at the same time as the World Arc. So that way, at least we're out in the Indian Ocean with another 50 boats. So if anything happened, there's potential rescue opportunities. And then after crossing the Indian Ocean, we end up in Madagascar and head to the South Africa, Cape Town, up to Namibia, and then Namibia is where we start crossing the Atlantic back to the Caribbean, potentially landing Grenada, or if we want to just try to fast track it closer to home, maybe we skip and we stay sailing till we get closer in the Caribbean to the United States. But yeah, this timeline, we should be crossing the Indian Ocean in October. So hitting up Madagascar and South Africa in November and December. And then, yeah, crossing in the Atlantic in maybe January or February. I have to see. We have friends that did it. Lynn, if you're in here, I don't remember what month you said that you had crossed, but we'll probably try to cross whatever month that was. Vanilla beans from Madagascar, hell yeah, we'll try that. That's funny because every country we go to, vanilla beans seem to be like something that you buy gourmet. Because I know in the stores here, or in Tahiti, they had vanilla beans for sale, gourmet vanilla beans for sale, like by the fresh fruits and vegetables. Pretty sure in Panama we found the same thing in the grocery stores. Yeah, Madagascar I think will be really cool. I mean, if we were able to get there quick enough, maybe we could even go inland in Africa a little bit, or maybe take a little trip, or maybe even when we're in Indonesia, depending on what tickets look like, maybe we could travel somewhere and experience somewhere else in Asia. Because, well, I mean, if we end up in Thailand, at least then we're hitting two countries in Asia, Indonesia and Thailand. But Africa, I wouldn't mind seeing Egypt. I wouldn't mind seeing I don't even know where you would go to find lions. I heard that lions aren't even really free roaming in Africa from some South African friends. They said that it's mostly they're in like these reserves and stuff. But I guess it'd still be cool to go see. But yeah, I guess we got to just focus on getting the boat ready for this next crossing, the next 1,800 miles from here to Fiji. And the nice thing is there is multiple islands between here and Fiji. So we got the Cook Islands, we got Niue, we got Tonga, and then American Samoa is up north a bit more. But there are places in the event of an emergency that we could pull in and get repairs done or do whatever we need to do. Which, if we were going to Hawaii, it would have been, I think, 2,800 miles, and there was only one little island in the middle, the little country of Kiribati, which was about 1,400 miles into the trip, about halfway. So, I mean, that's a long way to go without anywhere to pull in for an emergency. So this route also gives us I feel like a lot more safety. Plus there's a lot more boats headed this way, so if anything terminally bad happened, like the boat sank, we can be rescued out at sea. We do our boat came with an expired life raft, which we have kept. We still have it on board, and we have a brand new life raft that we keep in the cockpit. So we have potentially two life rafts if we had to abandon ship. We have one emergency positioning beacon for the boat, which is this big thing that'll run for 72 hours, sending out our position to Coast Guard, local coast, like whatever the local Coast Guard is for whatever country we're closest to. And then we also have a second personal emergency beacon that only runs for 24 hours, but that will do the same. So potentially we could have 4 days worth of sending our position out if we needed to be rescued. Wait in a life raft 4 days to get rescued on this route. Maybe if we were going to Hawaii, it could be. But there's also a lot of container ship traffic in that part of the world. So yeah, I mean, if we had to abandon ship, we'd potentially have two life rafts. We have our own little floating condo with emergency positioning beacons, emergency food, all that kind of stuff. We have two ditch bags full of stuff, GPS. We have our Iridium Go that we could also use to make phone calls. I have a spare cell phone with everything loaded up, all the apps necessary to use our backup satellite hotspot in the ditch bag. Emergency water and emergency food that we got for free in Panama from the life raft place, because we stopped by to inquire about buying a life raft and they just happened to be throwing away stuff that was expiring in the next year. So we grabbed a bunch of free survival water rations and food rations. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been a prepper type person since right before we left Hazleton and moved down to Florida. I was really getting into the whole just making sure that we had enough food in the house to last if there was a blizzard or anything like that. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Anybody that's just joining in, my wife and I are getting ready to sail from Bora Bora to Fiji tomorrow. Hopefully we're going to be leaving. We have to go to the police station today and let them know, I think, that we still plan on checking out tomorrow. Yeah, what else do I got to say? I don't know. Does anyone out there have any questions? We got 7 people watching. Double tap the screen to like, or like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I hit 100 subscribers this week. That's friggin' cool. I thought I would have maybe 10 or 15 family and friends watching. Got 100 subscribers. What else? The bottom, from what I could see of the bottom, it already looks like we're getting growth on the bottom. So we were in the marina for 9 months in Tahiti, and our bottom seemed to stay pretty good. I didn't have much to scrape when I dove on the bottom, but now it seems like there's a lot of growth. So I don't know if this area of French Polynesia, there's just a lot of nutrients in the water, or a lot of organisms that like to grow, or maybe I just, when I was cleaning the bottom, I scraped a lot of the paint off, and our paint is what protects the bottom. It's an ablative paint, so as creatures try to stick to the bottom of our boat, it's like a powdery substance, and the thing can't stay on, it just falls off. So, but you have to apply many layers, and you have to redo that every so often. Hello Hassan, how are you doing? But yeah, so we might have to scrape the bottom a little bit more often now until we could haul out and get a new bottom paint put on. Hassan, I'm getting ready to sail to Fiji from Bora Bora, if you're just joining. It's been very, very windy here. We're having at least 15 to 20 knots consistent since we pretty much arrived. So it's nice for temperature, bad for audio, bad for doing laundry. I was putting like 8 clothespins per article of clothing out on the lifelines out here. And we don't really, it doesn't feel like we have really good airflow in our boat. Like, we have all the hatches open, but it still seems to get pretty warm during the day. I think we're still seeing, like, let me see what the temperature is right now. Yeah, it's 85 degrees, and it's only 8:40 in the morning. I think it's been above 80 pretty much all night. So the breeze helps a little bit, but it's still hot when you're trying to sleep. I woke up sweating. I don't know where in Indonesia we're going to go. That's something that we have to probably do. Actually, if I'm being 100% honest, I don't know exactly where in Fiji we need to go yet. But we have 18 or 19 days to figure that out. So I downloaded all the charts yesterday from here to Vanuatu, which would be our stop after Fiji. So we should be good on charts, at least on our main iPad that we use for navigation. Then I'll download backups on my phone. Unfortunately, Navionics only lets you have it on 2 phones or 2 devices. So we'll have our main iPad and one backup on my phone. What else? Starting to go through our food. Oh man, We found bagels in Tahiti. They were not very common, so when we found them right before we left, we bought like 4 bags of bagels. We don't have a big freezer, so we pretty much bought as much as we could fit in the freezer alongside all the steaks and stuff that we bought to freeze. But yesterday I was making pizza bagels, and each bag contains 4 bagels. I had them all cut in half with sauce, cheese, pepperoni, and when I took them out of the oven, I put them on top of the stove, and I went to close the oven door, and we didn't have our oven locked, so our oven gimbals while we're out at sea, so it always stays level. And when you're not at sea, you lock it, so that way when it just stays sturdy. And so when I went to shut the oven door yesterday, the gimbaled oven tilted back, and the whole pan of bagels slid off of the oven behind the oven and slid down the wall behind it, and just pizza sauce, cheese, pepperoni smeared all down the friggin' wall. That was a bummer. I think that was our next to last bag of bagels too. So yeah, that sucked. I was looking forward to them so much. And I heated up the boat because I had to run the oven for quite a while to heat them up. So it got hot down there, lost my food. Jess ended up just having some friggin' seaweed chips or whatever, and then I just ate some friggin' pasta with a can of peas dumped in it. So that sucked. Hopefully when we go to land today to check out with the police, we can check the grocery store. If hopefully the ship that comes in to supply the grocery stores and everything, hopefully it comes in weekly. We got here last week, I think, the day after the ship arrived, so the grocery store was fairly well actually we ended up not going to the grocery store for I think 2 days, but it was still fairly well stocked. But yeah, if we could get there today and it restocks today or yesterday, hopefully we could get some good stuff to hold us over on fresh food for the first week of this trip. Yeah, so once we get to Fiji, I don't know how long we're gonna stay in Fiji. I think our plan is to just not get comfortable, so we might only stay maybe a couple weeks and then continue on to Vanuatu, only stay there for a couple weeks, and then make the next big jump to Indonesia, which I think Vanuatu to Indonesia would be about 2,400 miles. So if we could average 100 miles a day, that's about 24 days. So that's about an additional week longer than our current upcoming trip from from Bora Bora to Fiji. So yeah, Fiji to Bora Bora, or Bora Bora to Fiji, 1,800 miles. Then I think to Vanuatu, it's only between 400 and 600 miles. And then 2,400 to Indonesia. Then it's all short hops, island hopping through Indonesia up to Thailand. So like we shouldn't even have to really do like overnighters or anything, I think, once we get to Indonesia, until we're getting ready to cross the Indian Ocean. And then the Indian Ocean, I don't even know. I think that might be our biggest trip yet, which would be over 3,000 miles. There is a secondary route. I think if we were able to find some kind of income, maybe like some small, I estimate that we'd probably need in Asia maybe about an income of $25,000 to $30,000 a year, which I think is probably doable for 2 people to find online jobs to do that. But there's the alternate route to go stay in Thailand for 6 months, then cross over to the Maldives off of India, and then cruise Maldives, the Seychelles, and then sail down to Madagascar that way. But I think this, because that adds an extra 6 months on, because you have to sit in Thailand waiting for the monsoon season to end, that would probably require additional money. So, but we have probably 4 months. It's gonna be nice to get into another country though. Our water maker has been not acting right, which isn't cool. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it very well, but it's got this low hum. Usually it's a higher pitch, and when I give it a little love tap, it does pick up, and then it just slowly quiets down. So I don't know what is up with that. The interesting thing is it's still putting out drinkable water, and it stays at the pressure that it's supposed to. So I don't know why it's, I guess maybe the output is just slowing down, and that's why it starts getting quieter. But it never did that before, so I don't know if that's going bad. I'm scared. That's pretty critical, and while it's still working, I kind of want to just let it work, because I have a tendency of when something sounds like it's not working right and I touch it, then it just stops working completely. So I feel like I should maybe just leave this thing alone for the next X amount of time until it stops working completely, and then take it apart and see if there's anything I could do to bring it back to life. And if not, then we'll just have to figure out how to get one shipped in, because I don't want to have to friggin' schlep water from the dock in the dinghy back to the boat all the time, because that's a lot of, we hold 120 gallons and we have 5-gallon jerry cans, and well, actually we only have one 5-gallon jerry can now, so we would have to probably buy 8 of them and make 40-gallon runs and take 3 trips back and forth to fill it. And right now, if we wanted to do that, it's about 1.5 miles dinghy ride to the dock that would fill up the water. So once we have 8 full jerry cans in the dinghy, we're not going to be able to go as fast as we normally go in the dinghy. So we'll normally go maybe 10 to 12 miles an hour. As soon as we have 8 jerry cans, like we just filled up on fuel with jerry cans since we had the car, and motoring back with those jerry cans, we were going maybe 1 mile an hour. So it's just not feasible to be constantly getting water. I guess if we pull, there's nowhere to, here in Bora Bora, to just pull up to a dock to fill up on water. So yeah, that wouldn't be fun. I'm gonna let this water maker just continue to run at its slow pace until it gives up on me, and then I'll work on replacing the motor or trying to repair the motor. Wonder how many subscribers I would need to get before companies would be down to sponsor and we could just get a new water maker that probably meets our requirements a little bit more. I mean, having a water maker is better than not having a water maker, but we only make 8 gallons per hour, and if you want to do your own laundry on board and shower on board and drink all the water, like you need a lot of production. 8 gallons, we have to pretty much run it maybe 8 hours a day. As soon as the boat turns, the wind will come from a different direction. I don't know if the mic was picking that up. But yeah, we also got word that up by the yacht club, there's some mooring balls available. So if we wanted to move up there to be closer to where all the action is, we could, but Jess said that she's kind of happy here in seclusion. And Yeah, nobody's really around to bother us. There's that boat in the background. That looks like a couple. They have an American flag on the back of their boat, so they might be some young Americans. But they also have what looks like an Italian flag and a French flag. So I don't know what's up with that. Then we got this catamaran here. I think that might be a charter boat. But yeah, so we don't really have many neighbors, so it's nice out here. I could just friggin' stand off the back of the boat and piss, which is nice. But yeah, I don't know what else to update. I was just feeling bored. Saw a picture on Facebook for Snap's Pizza. Looked like a very professional video. I was very impressed that small businesses in Hazleton are getting these high quality looking ads. Makes me think of all those janky commercials from back in the day for local businesses that look like they were just filmed on your average handheld camera. We saw a bunch of those types of advertisements in Marathon during COVID when the movie theater opened, and they were all the ads before the movies were for local businesses, and they were just all those cheap, looked like they weren't even filmed on an iPhone. The quality was that bad. I think an iPhone would have been much better. Oh, one other thing I would like to get, but it's going to be kind of expensive, is a bigger Starlink dish. And I also don't know about what we would do for mounting that, because I don't think it uses the same mount as the old Starlink satellite dishes. So, yeah, I don't know where we would put it. Just wants us to cut down our wind generator, which provides us electricity when it's very windy out, but it also vibrates the hell out of the boat. So when it's very windy and that wind generator is spinning, it sounds like the boat's gonna fall apart. It's obviously not, but it's very just annoying and loud. And if you're in a friggin' 12-day passage that has steady winds, it's a lot. But I think it would also be a lot of work to figure out how to take it off, because if we just cut it off, then the pipe that it was on is going to be open at the top, and water is going to leak down through that pipe anytime it rains or a wave crashes over and get inside of the boat, and there's all electrical wires running through that pipe. So I think we'd have to get a welder to cut that off and cap it, which I think that would be Indonesia or Thailand kind of job. I don't think that's going to be cost effective here. And I mean, while we're still sailing from here to Indonesia, it'd probably be good to have that backup power source. Although it really doesn't provide much power unless it is very windy. Like, you need 20-25 mile an hour winds for that to make any kind of difference in electricity. I think at 20 miles an hour, it starts putting in enough electricity to make us like energy neutral. So like it covers exactly what we were spending at the time, like with our refrigerator, our freezer, our internet, our lights and everything. When the wind generator is going at like a good pace, it just covers what we need. It doesn't actually put any more additional power into the batteries. So our solar is much better. And so another downside to the wind generator is it partially shades our solar panels. So I think that our solar panels gives us way more electricity. So if we cut our wind generator off, it would probably end up giving us more power by removing that shade on the solar panels. So that's another thing to think of. And if we were able to remove the Starlink, if we got the bigger Starlink dish and we had to relocate it, that would also remove shade on the solar panels. and if we got to Thailand and we decided to get work done, I would probably see about moving our radar dish. I would probably move that radar dish up onto the front of the mast to get that out of the way, so that's not shading the solar panels. We got some tourists coming by. So yeah, and if anybody's in here that can't chat or doesn't know how to chat, you might need to log into a YouTube account. If you have a Gmail, you just sign it. Google owns YouTube, so you could just sign into your Gmail account. What's up, Mandy? Oh, I guess I should turn the camera back on. But yeah, so you might have to sign into your Gmail account or whatever Google account you have to be able to talk. The wind will stop as soon as the boat points a different direction. Give it a second. Tourists just made a big circle around us. Mandy, nothing really is going on today. I was just bored, so I figured I'd come on and talk. I shouldn't say nothing's going on. I mean, we should be getting ready to go tomorrow. I think we got most of our projects done. My big thing was to seal up yesterday. It's too dark under here. I removed this track. So that track holds our cockpit windows and our screens. So this one was coming apart, coming down, so it's screwed in, but it also had adhesive stuck in between. So I removed it yesterday. I sanded the fiberglass underneath. I used this epoxy to fill in the screw holes, and then I let that dry, and then I put some more adhesive or sealant on the back of this, just a silicone sealant I used on the back of the track, and then I screwed it back up and let it dry. It's all dry now, so hopefully that will stay up and not have a gap there anymore. We got a little bit more laundry we need to do. We still have to install, so if you could see out there, the back screens and windows still need to be put back on. What else did we do? I think that's pretty much. Oh, I had to replace or fix our water pump yesterday. Yes, I was going to try to get a drink of water, and nothing was coming out of the faucet. Our pump had stopped working, which tends to be a problem that happens every, I would say 4 or 5 months maybe. And it's this little $5 switch. I just made a YouTube video on how to replace it, because when we were in Honduras it happened the first time and I didn't know what to do, so I just had to go. I went and bought a whole new pump, and in Honduras they were $450, I think. Let me do a little quick Amazon search here, because I think in the States they are at least half that price. But even still, I bought a brand new pump for $450, and then I installed it. I kept the old one just in case, and then the new one ended up dying about 4 or 5 months later. So then I started doing some YouTube searching, and I ended up finding a video of a guy that repaired his using a $5 switch. So when I was in Honduras, I could have just ordered that $5 switch from the States and probably paid $10 to get it, and I would have not had to buy that $450 pump. But now what I do is I keep that extra pump as a backup, so then when the one we're using dies, I just put the spare in, take the one that died out, fix it up with the new switch, put it back as a spare, and then wait for the other one to break again. So yeah, I've just been prolonging the life of my friggin' water pump with $5 parts. The water maker pump is starting to sound like it's dying again.
Do you think it's like on its last legs or something?
I think it could be, yeah.
So do you think we have to like buy a new one?
I don't know. I mean, potentially. But what
it's
my...
like only like 2 years old.
Yeah. My plan is to wait until it dies.
Do we have a spare?
No. But I don't want to touch it now and take it apart and be like, oh, maybe I could fix it and make it run better. And then it just stops running completely. Because it's making water for us.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, I don't want to fuck that up until we could at least be in a place where we could get a spare.
Yeah. How much do you think that would be? This one was a couple grand, right?
I mean, we don't need a whole new water maker. We just need a pump. One part of the thing that we've spent thousands on. It's a couple $100. I looked at them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if you want to look at like shipping if possible to Fiji. I don't know.
Yeah, I need to find out how to ship something to Fiji.
I think they do FedEx as well.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we'll just.
That's fine. It's only going to be like 5 pounds or something like that. And it's like this big.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like something
Yeah.
that's going to be insane.
I don't know if we should wait till we get there or whatever. But also,
Yeah, I
right,
mean,
I don't know.
Because what if something else happens
Right.
and we have to stop in
But also, that
Niue
means we
or...
have to stay longer. Okay, yeah, whatever. Talk about me and OCD.
OCD?
Not OCD. ADD.
Trying to get that breeze. Also trying to get that breeze. As soon as the sun goes down, he's outside. He spends the rest of the friggin' night outside.
Running around.
Yeah, running around, meowing, singing, doing all the things.
Crying.
And she just wants to stay as close to mom as possible.
Oh?
Yep. Oh. Living that good life. Out at sea. Not touching land for days on end.
The good life.
Hey, what? So yeah. Let me give the old water maker one more little love tap. Ooh, that time my love tap made it slow down. If we could manage 100 miles per day, it should take 18 days. I mean, since we got new sails and we've been averaging, I would say, 120 miles per day. So at 1,800 miles, is that like 15 days? Where's my calculator? what am I doing here? 1800 divided by 120 miles is 15 days. So yeah, I would probably say more likely 15 days. Anybody that's just joining, we're sailing from Bora Bora to Fiji, hoping to leave tomorrow. We're in Bora Bora right now. This is what you see going by in the background. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, do all those things. I was thinking about making a Facebook group for our channel so I could post when we go live and stuff, so that way I'm not flooding it to people on my personal Facebook that probably don't care. So I was thinking about making a Facebook group for people to join, and then that way whoever's actually interested in our sailing adventures, they could join the group, and then we could just post our updates there, and then I could just keep my personal Facebook for just my own, what it's always been for is my own memory keeping, basically. So yeah, that way I'm not posting a million I'm live videos on my own personal Facebook. I'm sure there's, but I mean also people that don't care could just unfollow. It's the best feature in Facebook is unfollow. So yeah, potentially 18 days, I would say closer to 15 days to get to Fiji, I hope. And there's plenty of islands in between that we could stop at if we need to in an emergency. So immediately after Bora Bora or French Polynesia, we'll have the Cook Islands. After that, we have the island of Niue, or the country of Niue. Then we have the country of Tonga. There's lots of little islands. And then we would have, well, and then there's American Samoa also, which is a bit more north. And also, nope, then there's Fiji. But yeah, so there, I don't think there's any point in the trip where
Supposed to, they went through.
What?
Like the sound and just like
The water maker? My sound?
No, the water.
Oh. Huh. Yeah, it's fucking up.
Okay.
So yeah. That's where we're at. I don't know. She got me distracted now, and I don't remember what I was saying. Fiji, 1,800 miles. Hawaii would have been about 2,800 miles. So now we don't have any kind of trip as big as the Hawaii one until we get to when we have to cross the Indian Ocean, which I still don't even know when that is going to happen. What's up, Rocco? Yeah, I the plan for crossing the Indian Ocean is to be determined, because I don't know what route we'll take yet for that. I guess the only thing I'm worried about with following the World Arc route is we would go down from Indonesia to Christmas Island, which is a little island off the coast of Australia, and then, but it's a territory of Australia, and Australia is very difficult to get your friggin' pets imported into. So I'm hoping that we could leave Indonesia, head towards Christmas Island. Once we're there, just radio them and be like, yo, we have an emergency, we need an emergency fuel stop. Can we just stop for 24 hours to fuel up? That would give us a 24-hour rest, and we wouldn't have to worry about checking in our pets or anything. And then we could set sail from there to, I think the next island is Coco's Island, or it's called Coco's Keeling or something like that. And Keeling. Yeah, Coco's Keeling. And that's also an Australian territory, so I think we'd probably just, if pets are a problem, I'd probably just do the same thing, declare I need an emergency fuel stop, stay for an overnight or get refueled, and head to cross the Indian Ocean. Do we follow currents? Not really. I mean, I rarely ever look at currents. I usually just go, determine where I want to go next, and I just go. If the currents are gonna hurt us, I mean, I'll try to get out of them, but We haven't really had a major current we had to worry about that wasn't helping us since leaving the United States pretty much and crossing the Gulf Stream both to Bahamas and to Mexico. Um, but yeah, so then declaring an emergency fuel stop in Cocos Keeling to cross the Indian Ocean. So we have at least one more rest day before crossing the Indian Ocean. And then after that, we should have no problems with our pets. Like, I don't think Madagascar gives two shits about pets. I don't think South Africa gives two shits about pets. Namibia, none of them give a shit about pets. And then once we get back to the Caribbean, it should be smooth sailing. The longest we'll be at sea. Yeah, I would say the longest we'll be at sea again would be. I think we should look that up right now. I want to say it's going to be over a month crossing the Indian Ocean. So from here to Fiji, 1,800 miles. Fiji to Vanuatu, which is our stop after that, is I think around 600 miles. It could be like maybe 700. Then Vanuatu to Indonesia is upwards near like 2,400 to 2,600, which should still be under a month and still less than going to Hawaii. And then once we get to Indonesia, it should be maybe 1,000 something to those Australian islands I was talking about before crossing the Indian Ocean. So all of the hops from here to Indonesia / Australia, where we would cross the Indian Ocean, is under 2,800 miles, which is what the Hawaii trip would have been. Or Hawaii trip going that way. Then the Indian Ocean, I think, is going to be over 3,000 miles from. Yeah, I don't even know how to find Cocos on a map yet, because. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't need. No, we'll do a little estimation here. So we'll put a little marker there. We'll put a little marker off of Mauritius. Mauritius is where we would land off of the coast of Madagascar. So this is saying about 2,845 miles. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick up a phone screen on it. It's mirrored. But yeah, crossing the Indian Ocean, it's saying about 2,845 nautical miles. So let's say about 3,000 miles. So that'll be about a month. And yeah, we're living a dream, not the dream. I don't know who would actually have. I think most people, once they get out here, they would realize that it's not as much of a dream as you might think. I think living on a boat, you need to learn to, unless you are extremely wealthy, you need to learn how to be a plumber, an electrician for both 12 volt and or AC and DC. You need to learn fiberglass work, carpentry work, rigging, then the sailing, the navigation, the captaining. Oh man, I don't know. I haven't even looked into that. I'll worry about that. I mean, we're going to be passing with the World Arc, which is, I think there's at least 50 boats signed up for the World Arc, so they would all be crossing at the same time. So I don't think pirates would be that much of a problem. Plus, we wouldn't be going up north towards the Suez Canal, which is like where Somalia is, and that's where the piracy was really bad. I've heard that it's not that bad anymore, but who knows? I would have loved to go up through the Suez Canal and into the Mediterranean and see all of our friends that are over there, but yeah, I would probably need to have some kind of windfall to be able to pull that off. Our boat is a 38-foot island packet monohull sailboat. It is. It might get windy here, so I don't know if it's going to be easy to hear, but the solar panels and everything add about an extra 5 feet. The thing that holds up our dinghy. So that puts us in at about, what, 43. And then we also have, I'm going to try to block the mic a little bit. But then we have this wooden bowsprit up here that also adds some length. So I think we're about 46 feet overall. Let me get back away from the wind. But yeah, it's cozy for a couple and two pets, two small pets. I don't know if I would. I think once we get back to the US, maybe we could have our first child on here. Or once we get back to the Caribbean. Or, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that could be. We could have a child. Yeah, Caribbean. But I think. Spinning me around. Anything more than maybe a small one child, I think would be pushing it for us on this boat. But we have a friend who has the exact same boat, and they have a son who's maybe getting into his teenage years now. But I don't know how they do it, because where his bedroom is our storage unit, so I guess they just have significantly less stuff than us. I couldn't imagine sailing with that much less stuff. I don't even feel like I have a lot right now. We were talking about if we wanted to move off of this boat somewhere, I probably would only need to fill up one suitcase of my belongings. Like I tend to hold on to all my old laptops and stuff like that. So I think I have like 3 or 4 laptops to pack up, some hard drives. Like, it's just some electronic stuff that I would take with me. But we also have spares for everything. I guess if I was able to keep everything, though, there is plenty more that I would ship home. Like I bought a really nice sewing machine, a $1,000 sewing machine that could sew sail material and all that stuff. So I would try to keep that. All my DeWalt power tools I would probably try to keep. So yeah, but I mean, if I needed to, I think I could keep it down to one suitcase and let the next owner keep the rest of the stuff. Yeah, thank you. It's been an adventure. I mean, there's definitely, I feel like there's been just as many lows as there's been highs. And the highs are really high and the lows are really low. I do a little fishing. Yeah, if you went back on my Facebook, I've posted probably every fish that I caught, which I think is only 4. I've never life before owning this boat. And I've probably thrown the line out maybe 12, 13, 14 times. And I've caught, I think, 4 fish. I've reeled in 4 fish. I've caught, I think, maybe 2 or 3 that got off. 2 big mahi that got off, and I think 1 that, I mean, it snapped the hook almost immediately. I think it was a big marlin or swordfish. But yeah, I caught 1 okay sized mahi, 1 okay sized tuna, 1 really small tuna, and 1 really small snapper. I don't eat fish. I hate seafood. I hate all seafood. Crab, lobster, clam, shrimp. I hate it all. So when I do catch a fish, my wife ends up eating it all. So we don't have much space to keep something really big. So our last fish, the tuna that I caught on our Pacific crossing, ended up being full of parasites, and that really turned us off. So we ended up throwing it away, throwing it overboard. But there was plenty of people who were saying that you just pick it or cut around the parasites or pick them out because they're this little rice looking thing. So yeah, people were telling us to pick that out and just cook it or eat it as sashimi. Nah, not down with that. I would prefer not to eat it if it was parasite free. But that being said, I will probably continue to try. We went out with a local fisherman on a couple weeks before leaving Tahiti, and we caught a big marlin. a blue marlin. I think it was about 120 pounds. Yep, yep. We take our little dinghy here. It's got a 15 horsepower, two-stroke Yamaha on it. Takes us at about 10 to 12 miles an hour. Our main boat, like on this boat, we only travel at about 5 to 6 miles an hour. So yeah, we take the little boat and we could go pretty much anywhere. This boat, our main boat is 5 foot deep. And then the dinghy's only well, I guess with the outboard motor goes about a foot and a half underwater. So we could go much more places and just take that thing right up onto the beach. We bought the ultralight version, so the dinghy weighs I think 100 pounds, and then the motor weighs 89 pounds since it's but yeah, the water maker is making, I guess I should say it's not really making any noise. What it could also be is, what I might have to do after I shut it down is I might have to take out the filter and check to see if the filter is clogged, which might be causing a slow intake. So we have a hole in that strains out any kind of big sediment, and then it goes through a hose to another finer filter, which is the one I'm talking about, that I have to check to see if it's clogged up. Then it goes into the water maker, gets pushed through it. The salt water gets pushed through a membrane, and that produces clean drinking water. Also, and then also a brine wastewater that gets pushed out the back of the boat and goes back to the sea. So yeah, the one strainer might be a little clogged up, and that might be I think it's the pump though. I will clean that filter out though, just in case, but I'm not hopeful. So we might have to figure out how to get a new pump sent to us somewhere. I don't know. Oh man, I don't even know if I should bring that up. I don't know if it's worth looking to see how quickly something would be shipped here from the United States, to get the new pump shipped here and just postpone departure. Jess, do you have you seen anything about how easy it is to get something shipped here to Bora Bora? Can Tahiti Crew do that? Weeks?
Yeah.
If we did it by air?
If we did it by air, it might get here 10 to 14 days.
Hmm.
Want to wait?
I don't know. I think if I could keep it running all day today, we could get up to a full tank.
It's making sounds right now.
I know. I hear it. How long have we been? Well, we've been doing this. I bought my first boat in 2015. Lost it in 12, but I lived on it for about 6 months. We lost it in Hurricane Irma, and then we bought this boat in 2020, moved on board December of 2020, and started living on board full time in 2020, and we've been on here since. Longest we've been at sea was our Pacific crossing from Galapagos Islands to the Gambier Archipelago here in French Polynesia, and that was 26 days at sea. Did you miss any answers to your questions? Because I think I answered all of them. I gotta do a little love tap. Yeah, I mean, if I didn't answer it, just let me know. It's also getting very hot, so maybe I shut it down, let it cool off, and try running it and see if that, maybe it just gets too hot. Which, I mean, it shouldn't do, but if I could at least get it to create enough water for us. Yeah, it's acting funny. I'm gonna flush it. Yeah, see, now it doesn't even want to make noise. So now it's flushing the water maker with fresh water. So that way when it sits, it doesn't get bacteria and stuff growing inside of it. But it's still acting weird, which would mean that I don't think it's the filter that I originally thought, because that filter was just for seawater, and now it's not pumping seawater through, it's just pumping fresh water through. So I do think it's the pump. The pressure is just slowly going down too, which isn't cool. So that's something. We'll let that cool down for a while. Try running in it again and see if it runs normally for a little bit. Because if I could just get it to produce enough water for us to get to Fiji, it might be easier to get something shipped into Fiji. Item number 151 on today's glitch list. It's a Jurassic Park quote. This feels really good though. Awesome, Rocco. Thank you. I will let you know. Normally it's just a matter of, well, West Marine usually is good at shipping internationally, but a lot of sailors, the more popular website I think for buying boat parts is defender.com, which they don't ship internationally. So then you got to have it shipped to someone who then has to go and figure out how to ship it internationally. So yeah, I'll let you know. I gotta do some research on where, well, actually I don't even have to really do research. I guess by research I mean there's a WhatsApp group that Jess has been in that just added me, a sailing to Fiji WhatsApp group where people just share all kinds of information about WhatsApp. About Fiji. We've been in one for French Polynesia, so everyone just shares all their local knowledge about French Polynesia. So I could just ask in that group chat how to send packages. I'm sure that it's probably asked a million times. Is UPS? I mean, UPS probably is worldwide to certain countries. I think mostly FedEx here. Jess, does UPS? Is there a UPS here too? Does UPS ship here?
I think it's just FedEx.
Just FedEx. Yeah. So we were getting FedEx stuff. The stuff that we were getting here in French Polynesia was shipped via FedEx. I think DHL also ships here. So I think maybe different countries have different, like, I think Panama had everything. UPS, FedEx, DHL. So I guess it depends on the country which shipping companies service those areas. And then now we got this helicopter coming in. This is does tours, I guess, around the islands. And then it also looks like we might have a cruise ship coming in out there. It's grainy as hell. I have to see about another way to stream YouTube, because if you just go into the YouTube app and choose stream or go live, I don't know why, but like the cameras that it uses on your phone, it doesn't really, I feel like it doesn't use the cameras optimally. I shouldn't be zooming in and it being all blurry like that, because if I zoom in without being live, it's not that blurry. I wonder if we could see him landing. That's probably a real question. Yeah. You'll just have to take my word for it. He's landing over there. So yeah, so shipping has been a problem for us for quite a while now, which is why we ended up spending so much time in Tahiti, because we were waiting on a part and everyone was like, well, you could either ship it in air freight or cargo freight, ship freight. If you ship it in air freight, it's going to be exponentially higher cost, but it's going to get there faster. If you ship it in by boat, it's going to probably take a month, but it's going to be significantly cheaper. And we're like, okay, well, we could wait a month, but it ended up taking way more than a month. So we ordered it in, I want to say the beginning of August. It was supposed to be shipped out in September. Got a notification that it was, I can't remember if they said it was too heavy or the container was already too full. So they had to take my part off of the container, put it on the next container that was due out the next month, which was, I guess, October. It got put on the container for October, and then supposedly got, they said that customs in the United States put a hold on the container for it to be inspected. And then it was under and waiting to be inspected for a month. Took a month to get, another month to get inspected. I don't think it ended up leaving the French Polynesia until right before Christmas, or leaving the United States, Los Angeles, until right before Christmas. And we didn't get it until the day before, or the day we left to fly back to the United States in January, which is around the 20th of January. So that's when we finally got the part that we had ordered in August. And meanwhile, luckily, it was also the the off season in Tahiti, so the marina slip fee had gone from $2,000 a month to $1,000 a month. So we were at least paying half price for the slip for that time. But then once we got the windlass, the guy who was going to install it, how did this go? I then waited a month to find somebody to install it, because by that point I got into a little rhythm in Tahiti where I was going for walks every day. I was doing a little bit of day trading, stocks and stuff. So I decided that I wasn't in a rush, so I didn't put any urgency into having the part installed on our boat. So then when it finally came time to install it, I think February-ish, I got in touch with a guy. He said that he couldn't do the carpentry part, but he could do everything else. So he put me in touch with a carpenter. The carpenter said he'd come see me a week later. He came and saw me, saw what the job entailed. He was like, that's easy, I could handle that, no problem. He said, I'll be back next week. Next week, I messaged him at the end of the week. I'm like, yo, what's up? You never came. And he's like, oh, sorry, I'm going to be busy for another month. I can't come. So then I went back and I messaged the guy who put me in touch with the carpenter. And I was like, hey, your carpenter friend said he's busy for a month. Do you know anyone else? And he just ghosted me and never responded. And so then I had to seek out somebody else, got someone within a couple days, and then it was another, I think, month process. So all in all, from August until, I don't think we had the part installed until the end of March. So yeah, all because of one little shipping problem. And I guess if I would have known that it would have kept getting delayed over and over and over again, I would have just said I'll pay. It was probably a 70-pound item, and to ship it by sea, I think it cost about $900 or $800. I think it would have cost like 3 or 4 grand, which is how much the item cost to purchase if we would have shipped it by air. But we would have we would have saved on marina fees much more than that shipping cost. So hindsight is 2020. Yeah, it's crazy as hell. I mean, you just, when you're in the middle of an ocean on a small ass island that nobody really has any reason to ship to on a consistent basis, shipping options are few and expensive. Especially when you're in a French country and you want to order something from United States, because then there's even less options for shipping, because most of the stuff in this country is not coming from the United States. You don't find many United States products there. It's funny, the grocery store has an American aisle, and it's so funny what they seem to think Americans are all about. I might have some video footage of the American aisle at the store, but it consisted of Reese cups, M&Ms, Kellogg's Corn Flakes, the Nissan or Marukan ramen noodles, a 24 pack of ramen noodles, just not the cups, but the little rectangle packages that you have to break up, a 24 pack of them for $25. So you're buying one of those little packs for $1 a piece. I miss the United States when I'm not there. I miss the ease of getting packages, mostly. I miss the huge selection of items. And then when I get back to the States, I normally can't wait to leave. Because it's traffic. I hate traffic. There's no traffic out here ever, unless you're pulling into like Nassau, Bahamas. Yeah, I guess traffic is my big thing. I feel like if I lived in the United States again, I would like to be able to live somewhere where I don't really have to go to the store that much and just have stuff delivered to me. Preferably where like my closest neighbor is maybe a mile away. And I'm just out there. Yeah, I mean, I also wouldn't mind going back to work. I think something to fill in, because it does also out here. I guess different people would have different experiences, because I named this channel Antisocial in Paradise because we are pretty antisocial. We have been in French Polynesia for over a year, and I would say that we've met 5 couples that we talked to for more than an hour in French Polynesia. So 5 conversations over the course of a year. It's really tough just being here with your significant other and not really having anyone else to talk to, which is a real big reason why I started doing these lives, was because I was browsing YouTube one day and I ended up finding a guy on living on his boat in California who was live, and he had way more subscribers than me, so he had like 40 to 50 people coming in at a time into his lives, and he would just sit there and talk to them like this for hours. And I was just watching, and I'm like, that is fun. Like, I could be doing that while I'm bored, showing people what it's like, and turning people on or off to the lifestyle, because I think that there's plenty to turn people off. That I think a lot of the YouTubers out there are only showing the really good thing. Even the people that are like, oh no, we're real, we show everything. Like, it's, unless you're going to just keep a camera running like live for hours on end, you're probably going to miss something. And if something bad happens, you're probably not going to have time to get the camera to turn it on because you're too busy reacting. So I feel like this might be a better way for people to see what it's really like. Also, I mean, you could see just how boring it is, because this is what I do on your average day. I sit here in the cockpit, I'll browse through YouTube videos, or I'll, especially if it's raining or if it's too windy or too choppy to take the dinghy to land, like there, it could be very, very boring. Especially pre Starlink, when you were uh, relying on either trying to pick up Wi-Fi from land, having some kind of really nice Wi-Fi antenna on your boat, or having a SIM card in a router so that way you could use it as a hotspot to have internet. Like, times before Starlink were even more boring. Out at sea for 12 days with no contact with the outside world. It was cool too. Just really different. Yeah, this I think is probably the best representation of, at least for me and Jess. Like I said, there's tons of people I'm sure who spend little time on their boat and they just go out on land and do excursions. Especially with more of the retired crowd that has that kind of nest egg to do it. I definitely underestimated how much money we would be spending on repairs and stuff like that. So I guess maybe we would be going to land more often if we had $1 million in the bank, and we could go afford to scuba dive every day, or even if we weren't as antisocial and we just made friends with people who were more I guess go out and do stuff type of people. Because every time we're around those kind of people, like the real type A personalities, I want to go out and socialize, they force us to go out and we have a good time. It's just not something that we seek, so we're absolutely fine with chilling here on a mile from the shore and just living, appreciating the solitude and silence. Do some browsing on the computer. Yeah, a lot has happened since high school. Oh God, when I got this dream, probably 10 years after graduating, and then it took another, I guess, 10 to really make it happen. So I read a book in 2012 called Maiden Voyage about this girl who, when she turned 18, her dad had saved up money for her. And he's like, you could either take the money and go to college, or you could take the money and buy a sailboat and go sail around the world. Because I think he had done the same thing. And so she chose the sailboat, and the book was about her journeys. And this was back in, I think, God, I don't even know what years, maybe 60s, 70s, or 80s, somewhere in that time frame, before a lot of the navigation, when they were still probably navigating with sextants and all that stuff, and stars, celestial navigation. But she did it by herself, and I think she ended up meeting like a French guy who had his own boat, and they spent, maybe they were together, but they also kept their separate boats, so they would just sail alongside each other around the world. But I read that book, and that kind of just sparked a dream. I think at that time I had just upgraded from wanting to hike the Appalachian Trail to buying an RV to go travel around the continental US. And yeah, I read that book, and I was like, well, if I could go and visit tropical beaches all the time and just hop from tropical beach to tropical beach, that is definitely something I think I would rather do. And then I could do the RV later in life when I get older and can't raise the sails anymore. But it's not all just sailing from beach to beach. It's a lot more than that. It's dealing with friggin' broken water pumps and water makers and God, everything seems to go wrong. And just imagine having your house just constantly rocking back and forth and everything creaking and everything just bouncing around. All your equipment is going to eventually break in those kind of conditions, I think. You could try to secure stuff as much as possible, but things fly around. What else could I say about that? We're gonna give the water maker about an hour to cool down and see if that changes anything. We have to go to land still to go tell the police that we're checking out. It's the national police that we have to tell. So there's two police here. There's the municipal police and the gendarmerie, which is, I guess, probably reports to France, and are the national police. They handle checking in, checking out, stuff like that. Yeah, Amanda, if you were feeling nauseous at our wedding, because for those that don't know, we got married on a boat, and that was, I mean, you couldn't even really feel the motion on that boat. Right now, what I feel, you probably can't tell since the camera is also moving with me, but I feel much more motion right now than I did at our wedding. And I'm just sitting here on a mooring ball. Man, I don't know. I think you might psych yourself out a little bit. Because that really was not anything. That was like a catamaran. I'm a little bit worried about the food situation moving forward, because it seems like it's just, since leaving the States, it just gradually gets worse and worse, at least for me, being a picky ass friggin' eater. Oh yeah, I mean the exhaust sucks, and for us, anytime we motor, because we have this cockpit enclosure, the fumes tend to blow, even though they're blowing out the back of the boat. And when we're going forward, you would think that they just continue going back. They somehow, a suction happens or whatever, and the fumes end up coming back into the cockpit, and we have to deal with hours and hours of diesel fumes. I don't know what else to talk about. But I also felt like I didn't know what to talk about. Yeah, we sail as much as we can, but we also motor a lot. I have never been the type that if there's no wind, I'm not gonna just sit there and bob, or I'm not gonna sit there and sail at 2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour. No, yeah, we have a God, what is it? I think it's about 40 horsepower diesel engine. So yeah, if our speed drops down below like 4 miles an hour, I'm motoring. I'm not gonna friggin' sit there and just bob around. I wouldn't I feel like I'm a sailor. I can sail, but I'm also, that's not my entire reason for being out here. I think if I needed to, I could go to a power boat, a power catamaran, or a big power boat, no problem. The thing that I like about the sailboat is that if the motor stops working and I do need to bob around, at least when the wind picks up, I can get myself out of a situation. Whereas if I have a powerboat and it dies halfway between French Polynesia and Fiji, I need to get towed in somewhere, and that's going to be a lot of money. No, it's not a trolling motor. It's a diesel. It's a no joke diesel. Ooh, that's weird. I don't know why our fuel filter is half full and it looks a little yucky. That's weird. I'm gonna have to take care of that. But yeah. We might have water in it. That's a water separator that I was just showing. So, but I don't know why it, oh, maybe it lost the vacuum when I was filling up and I had to open up the fuel tank. So maybe that's why that fuel filter is only half full. We have dealt with bad diesel before. We ended up putting the boat in the water after we first bought it. We sailed it from halfway up the coast of the east coast of Florida in Indiantown to Miami, and we stopped at Dinner Key Mooring Field in Miami. And just as we were about to, we got on the ball just fine, shut the boat down, we stayed the night, and the next day we were supposed to sail from Miami to, where were we gonna, I think we were gonna stop in Marathon. So we went to get off the ball, and as soon as we undid the lines on our mooring, the engine died and we started drifting. So luckily I was able to get the engine started and we were able to get back on the ball, but that just created a whole chain of events of our engine dying for years. So we got back on that mooring. The helicopter's going back out. We got back on the mooring, let the engine run for a little while. It didn't die. So then we ended up leaving Miami. We made it out of the channel and the engine died again. And by that point we were like out at sea, off the coast of Miami. And so we just put up the sails and we decided to sail down to the Keys. And so what was happening was, in our tank there's the hose that sucks up the fuel out of the tank, and it had a little mesh filter on it to make sure that nothing got sucked up into the engine. So we had a diesel bug, which was some kind of slime that grows in your diesel. It almost looks like algae or whatever. And when we would be out at sea and the diesel's sloshing around in the tank and it's trying to get sucked up, all that sludge was clogging up the strainer and it would starve the motor for fuel. So when I would then shut the engine off, let it sit for a while, the vacuum would release that growth, the algae or whatever from the mesh filter. And when I go to fire it up again, it would be okay for a little while until the fuel started sloshing around again. Then the mesh filter would get clogged up, and this went on and on. Like, I tried to clean it out myself, but you couldn't access the entire diesel tank because halfway through the diesel tank it had like a wall inside to make sure it didn't collapse. So I couldn't get on the other side of that wall completely to clean it all out. So the growth would just come back. And finally in Guatemala a couple years ago, I ended up finding out that our fuel tank was rusting completely through. It had a hole in it. So we ended up just completely replacing the diesel tank. So I should not have any growth in there now. There could be just, yeah, like I said, I mean, I guess bad diesel would be watered down diesel. I don't think, like, diesel normally stores for a long time and is still good. So we'll take a look at that later on. Actually, yeah, we'll take a look at that later on because I'll have to run the engine later anyway. Yeah, I use that additive. I used it when we after we had already gotten the bug, but I think that the bug was already too bad for that to be effective. But since we got the new tank, I have been putting that in, so that's why I don't think we would have any kind of growth in there. And you would see probably some kind of slime in that filter that I showed earlier. It looks like it might be water. Very well could be. But that's easy. I just drain the water out of that filter. I could also open up at the bottom of our fuel tank. I added a little connection that water will always sit at the bottom of your tank. So if I open up that valve, in theory, I should be able to just empty out any kind of water because it's at the lowest point of the tank. So I could try doing that too. But I think what I'll do is I'll probably drain what's in that water separator. I'll drain that out. I'll use the manual fuel pump to pump fuel through the system again, and then run the engine later today to charge our batteries and see if that happens again. I think, yeah, it was probably definitely water. I mean, I don't know what else it possibly could have been. But that's concerning because I don't know where the water would have came from. I don't know if that would have been just water that came in from filling up in Tahiti. Is that water that just got from the fuel I got from in jerry cans here in Bora Bora? Has that been in from Panama? Who friggin' knows? We'll just have to keep an eye on that fuel separator. And the nice thing is I have dual fuel water separators. So like if that happened while we were out at sea, I noticed that I could just switch over to the other one while I clean the first one out. I didn't put the dual filters in. That was either the previous owner or the original owner. But yeah, I seem to have the same attitude as the previous owners, where we tend to have backups for backups of everything. If our autopilot failed, we have a wind vane steering system that uses the wind to steer your boat, so you don't have to sit there at the wheel for 24 hours a day. God, our boat had come with probably enough spare engine parts to build a whole new diesel engine. Spare starter, spare alternator. I now have a spare water pump assembly, raw water pump assembly. Tons of gaskets, O-rings. Tons of filters, oil filters, fuel filters. Pretty well stocked on that end. Yeah, and so I guess at the end of the day, that's what I really like about the route that we're going on. I said it earlier as a safety thing. But yeah, so if anything bad happens, we could just pull into one of these other islands that are on the way, Cook Islands, Niue, Tonga. But or if something breaks, we also have, like, if it's something critical, maybe not safety related or not going to prevent us from getting anywhere, but if it's something like the water maker, if we need a new pump, we could potentially maybe stop in somewhere and have it shipped to us. We might have to pay a little bit to get it shipped, but it's a possibility. So, yeah. What other questions you guys got? Also, anybody else who joined in, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. If you are having trouble talking in the chat, if it's not giving you the option, you might have to log into a YouTube or a Google account. YouTube is owned by Google, so if you have a Gmail, you could just log into your Gmail account on YouTube. That's no problem, and you could chat and ask questions and keep this chat going. Because I definitely can't come up with just random stuff to talk about. My brain is pretty random. I probably could think of random stuff to talk about. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day, Mandy. I'll probably have to shut this down soon anyway. I don't know what time the police wanted us to come and check out. I I heard that you needed to check out 72 hours in advance. We went the other day to check out, and they said 24 hours notice. Then we changed our date to check out. We went to tell them that we were changing it. We were going to stay an extra 3 days. And they're like, oh, wait, okay, so you're going to leave Saturday? They said, come back Friday. So I don't know if we're coming back just to let them know that we indubitably or we indeed want to leave tomorrow, or do they want us to come and we're going to get our passports stamped today? Because if we're going to get our passport stamped today, that's definitely officially we're checked out then. So we probably got to get there soon and make that determination. Gold mining. Oh man, I feel like there's probably tons of other more lucrative businesses to find than gold mining. I know what you mean though. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I just then you got to find a whole new that's a whole new skill you got to learn. And I feel like learning something like that so far away from home where you don't know anybody, that's like I feel like that would be tough. Unless you're the kind of person that like does learning on your own. I kind of need somebody that knows what they're doing to show me normally, unless it's something tech. All right, Mandy, I will keep you posted. I mean, we'll probably go live again tomorrow, maybe when if we're leaving tomorrow and when we get off the ball as we set off. And we'll probably definitely be going live if we're leaving. Oh no, I should I'll send you our satellite phone number. Um, yeah, actually that's still something I need to get figured out. I think I do have the new number, but for some reason our position isn't automatically being updated on our tracker, which is weird. So I gotta get that fixed. Awesome, sounds good. All right, I'll keep you posted. Like if not, we'll be live tomorrow, probably definitely. I'm trying to do it as much as I can, just to so the YouTube likes me. I know YouTube likes people who produce stuff on a regular basis. So, but if not, I mean, I could text or whatever. Always have that option as long as Starlink is working. I wish Elon Musk would start taking it a little bit easier. I mean, I think that the majority of boats that use Starlink are big cargo ships, cruise ships, mega yachts. So they think that the boaters can afford these high prices, but when we're out at sea in between islands, it's going to cost about $2.5 per gigabyte for internet, and I think it costs about 4 gigabytes per hour to stream in HD. So we're looking at around $10 we pay per hour to stream. So right now it's just part of our regular bill. I think we pay like 115 or 120 a month. To for actually it might even be less than that. We're on a New Zealand plan, so it might be less than that. So this is just part of we have unlimited internet while we're close to shore. But then as soon as we leave I think maybe a couple miles offshore, you have to switch over to priority at $2 and something per gigabyte. And yeah, and then if in the off time, then you're watching YouTube videos in HD quality. That's another probably $10 per hour to watch high quality videos. So what I normally do, we have YouTube Premium, which allows you to download videos. So I will download hours and hours and hours and hours worth of videos for me to watch. Like I'll normally download maybe 50 3-hour podcasts, Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, Kill Tony, all that kind of stuff, and I will just watch that stuff without using any of my internet. I do end up browsing a lot of Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts and stuff like that. But I think we're gonna be spending most of our data now on streaming and making content and stuff, and at least hopefully make gives people something that they want to see, something that people enjoy watching, and maybe inspire some people to come out here or scare people from coming out here. No, I don't buy DVDs or anything like that. I pirate all my shit. There hasn't really been anything that I haven't been able to find on torrents. I don't recommend that though. That's illegal. I only download stuff that I have copies of DVDs at home. I forget. Oh yeah, so I think we gotta watch the next episodes of The Last of Us that just came out. I think somebody said. I don't know if my sister had said that show came out. Um, but yeah, actually, we've just really been watching a lot of backlog of Kill Tony because Jess just started liking that. So I've been watching episodes that I've already seen before, so she could see them. Um, what else? Actually, I have all the seasons of the Wonder Years, and we're on season 6 of the Wonder Years. So we have that to watch. Or actually, we're on season 5 because I think season 6 was the last season. I never watched the Wonder Years when I was little, but now that I do watch it, I feel like a lot of it reminds me of my childhood. Even though it's supposed to take place in the 70s. Yeah, we got a lot of. I think I downloaded a lot of my childhood shows. I have like old Ninja. I have Married with Children. I have watched probably the first season of that this year. Um, oh God, Saved by the Bell. Watched some Saved by the Bell. What else? The old Ninja Turtles cartoon. I just watched the old Ninja Turtles movies. I watch Home Alone movies every year around Christmas time. I watch Jurassic Park movies every year. Independence Day every year. Pirates of the Caribbean movies every year. I think I downloaded Rugrats, Doug. What other? I think I might have got like Care Bears from way back in the day. He-Man. God, all these blasts from the past. I would really like. I have Hey Dude on DVD back in my storage locker in Florida, and I have Tailspin. I would love to find Salute Your Shorts. That was or Are You Afraid of the Dark? I have Are You Afraid of the Dark, but the quality is so bad you can't. It's not even worth watching. I would love to get Are You Afraid of the Dark and Salute Your Shorts on DVD or anyway. God, I can't even remember what other. What was Gummy Bears? Or what was it Care Bears? Which one where it was bears that they would drink a potion and they would like start bouncing around and shit. I think that was on the Disney Channel back when the Disney was a paid channel, so I'd only get to see it when they would do like free weekends, and Kids Incorporated on Disney Channel when you will get the free weekend. The Mickey Mouse Club. I downloaded MASH. What other old shows? Gilligan's Island, I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched. I think I have all that stuff, all the seasons. I Love Lucy. Yeah, I have one 5 terabyte hard drive full. I normally download in 720p because if it's an option, because I watch on a laptop. So I mean 1080p is not really going to make that much of a difference watching on a small screen. I'm sure I'll regret it if we ever move on land and I want to watch all this stuff on a big screen. Usually, if it's a popular action movie, like I know, like the Expendables type movies, I would get in the best quality possible. Um, but yeah, normally, and like if Jess wants me to download Disney stuff, it's normally in DVD quality, so like 480p. Cartoon stuff, I don't feel like I need to get crazy with it. They could only be a gigabyte file. And then all like anything old is usually DVD quality 480p anyway. Hackers is another movie I gotta watch every year. I rewatch stuff from my childhood more than I watch new stuff. I listen to stuff probably 2010 and before more than I listen to new stuff. Can't even remember the last show that I really, really liked that was newer. Even the stuff that we've watched recently that I would consider new is probably old. Because I feel like a lot of the stuff that we watched, Silicon Valley was a really good show, I think, about the dudes trying to make a startup. That was a really funny show, but we just watched it, but I do think that the last season had aired in maybe 2020 or 2019 or something. Might have been a little bit newer. Uh, Billions was okay. Last of Us we watched. I can't really, there's not really much that sticks out that we've watched recently that I would consider newer. I've rewatched some of the shows that I liked from back in the day, or back in early 2000, like Sons of Anarchy, Burn Notice. I usually watch a lot. I feel like I have a very, very different taste from most people. I feel like most of the movies that I really end up liking a lot are movies that will have a score of a 4 or a 5 on IMDb or a Rotten Tomatoes score of 20 or 30. Sons of Anarchy was awesome. I really liked that. I think that was one of the few shows that I pretty much watched in real time as it aired. Bird Notice was probably the one and only show that I watched from start to finish as soon as on TV as it aired. Would DVR new episodes. I think that might have been my favorite show of all time, and I don't know if it could possibly be beat. The Unit is a really good show that might be hard to find that I really love too, about like the Delta Force guys. Had the Allstate guy in it, the black guy that does the Allstate commercials. I would highly recommend the Unit for anyone that likes it was like it had the army aspect where they would go and do all these like special missions, sometimes even at home doing like some anti-terrorism type stuff, but it also showed like their home life and wives cheating and kids getting into trouble, stuff like that. I feel like it is really hard to find good shows nowadays. Every show that my wife and I end up liking now gets canceled after 1 or 2 seasons, I feel. Happens so much now that you don't even remember them. Yeah, man, I can't even think of anything. If somebody asks me what's a good show to watch that's newer, I might have to say The Last of Us, just because it's the only decent one that I know. Black Sails was another good show about pirates. That was a Showtime show. So there's nudity, cursing, all that kind of stuff. I feel like the Showtime shows like Tudors and Black Sails and stuff, and HBO, they went a little bit too far into the nudity and basically making like softcore porn shows, which I absolutely hate. Like, it's just pointless. People could watch porn if they want to. It's not hard to. Just friggin' put more action into these shows. I feel like the sex was an easy way out, because you'll always get the little fucking teenagers and stuff that are gonna eat that stuff up, and it's doesn't cost much to shoot scenes like that. Whereas if you're gonna put in in Black Sails, you're gonna put in like a two galleons battling it out. That's gonna be a higher budget. So I guess I could kind of understand why, but it just seems like the easy and cheesy way out.
Two.
Huh.
Or don't we have to go to the gendarmerie?
When are we going?
Well, we should probably get going before 11.
Yeah, so what time is it? Let's leave in 10?
It's 10:17.
Let's leave in 10?
So now, as of 17 minutes.
Leave in 10 minutes.
Oh.
Leave in 10.
Oh, okay.
Or 15. 10 or
Okay,
15.
sounds good. 10:30.
Wait, you said you want to be on land by 11 or leave by 11?
Land by 11. Okay.
All right, well, you heard it there first. We're going to leave in 10 to go.
You could show how we bring the dinghy down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we will film all the way up until we leave the boat, because I tried filming our when we rented a car the other day. I tried going live for a half hour. Nobody talked on the live, so I don't know if anyone saw it. But when I went back, I could go back and look at all of them, and the quality was absolutely horrendous. So I didn't even make the live public. Like, a lot of our lives, I make public so people could go back and see and watch it. What's up, Shelly? You're joining us right before we're getting off here. We're going to be leaving in 10 minutes to go check out. But what was I saying? Hell yeah. Make sure that you make sure you subscribe. Oh yeah. So again, Shelly, I don't know if you heard. Oh, the car ride stream. Thank you. Yeah, the quality was so bad, so I don't think that I would even try it again. So as soon as we're done getting the dinghy in the water and we're getting ready to go, we'll end the stream. So yeah, I'll keep it going until then. Damn, Shelly. Yeah, so if for anyone who hasn't, if you subscribe, there's a little bell next to somewhere. Actually, maybe I should just make a little short video on how to turn notifications on for YouTube, so you could be notified if you're a subscriber. What I think I'm going to do is I might just create a Facebook group for our channel, so that way people that are interested in it can like the Facebook group, and I don't have to flood people who don't want to see messages about me going live all the time. They could just tune into that. But I also gotta pay. We paid up until Wednesday for this mooring that we're on, and the 2 times when we first arrived and the day and a couple days later, the guy who you pay for the mooring came to our boat requesting payment, asking how long we were gonna stay, and he hasn't been around in the last couple of days, so I haven't paid. So I don't know if he's expecting me to reach out and say, hey, I got to pay. So when we come back from going to see the police, I'll message him and be like, hey, bro, I got to pay. But yeah, Rocco, like I said, I'm going to stay on for the next 10 minutes if you want to see how we put the dinghy in the water and stuff. But if not, if you got to go, peace out. Tune in to the next one, or whenever you're around. I got pissed real quick though, so I'm just gonna piss off the back of the boat. right. Refreshed. Might also need to do a little puff here before we leave too. I don't drink anymore. What's up, son of Aphrodite? Long time no see. I don't know if you've been tuning in, but we changed our minds. Were you here the day that we announced our plan change? We're gonna go to Fiji, and we're gonna continue sailing around the world instead of go to Hawaii. We're gonna continue my dream. As long as the money don't run out. Then we'll start begging. Beg, borrow, and steal. Hell yeah. So hopefully we could bring people along for a more exciting adventure, a longer adventure. We're looking at sailing to Fiji, Vanuatu, Indonesia, maybe Thailand, maybe some small islands off of Australia, Madagascar, South Africa, Namibia, and then hopefully back home to the Caribbean. That's gonna be awesome. She's doing good. I don't know what she's doing right now. She's down there doing something. Oh, eating, of course. Oh, it's shady down there. But yeah, we're just getting ready to go to land. We're gonna be hopping off here in probably 5, 6, 7 minutes. We're gonna film ourselves getting the dinghy in the water. Unfortunately, as soon as we get away from the boat, we're gonna lose our Wi-Fi, and the data is not good enough to stream. But yeah, we're gonna go check out with the police here in French Polynesia. Well, I'm not sure if it's our final, if we're gonna get our passport stamped today, or if we're just verifying with them that we are indeed going to leave tomorrow. So yeah, if we do get our passport stamped, then when we come back, we could probably finally put the dinghy up and stow the dinghy away for our 18-day passage. If we have to go back tomorrow to get our passport stamped, then we'll probably have to keep the dinghy out. But yeah, it's getting real. We got most of our projects done. There was one project I didn't finish. I mean, maybe I could finish it this afternoon. I just wanted, when our bilge pump goes on, it's supposed to turn a little light on so I know that the bilge pump is running and it's not wired up right now. So I might try to fix that tonight, but it's not an end-all be all. That's not a trip breaker. That's not going to stop our trip if I don't fix it. But yeah, so 1,800 miles now. Instead of going to Hawaii for 2,800, it's Fiji and 1,800. And we have a lot more places to stop in between now in case of an emergency. We have the Cook Islands, which is right after French Polynesia. We have Niue, the country of Niue, the country of Tonga, and then Fiji. So like, we're never going to be far away from land. Too far away, a couple hundred miles maybe. But yeah, so I quit drinking in October 2023 and started just partaking in the devil's lettuce. And I hear that this slowly becomes more difficult to find as we progress west. I heard in Indonesia it could be punishable by death if you get caught with cannabis. So that's a little disconcerting. Don't really have any ambitions of drinking anymore. So that might mean I have to be sober for ways. But in Fiji, uh, in Fiji, they drink this stuff called kava, which I used to drink in the U.S. sometimes, which gives you a little bit of effects sometimes. Yeah, I mean Tahiti, I was getting really good shit. My boat neighbor came over the other day here in Bora Bora and showed me some of the stuff he was getting here in Bora Bora, and it was worse than swag. I don't even know, like I don't even know what to call it. But I was getting some pretty high quality stuff in Tahiti. Panama was swag. Panama, I was just getting brickweed, Colombian brickweed. It wasn't even that cheap. I think I was paying like $100 an ounce, or $80 an ounce. But yeah, if people drink a lot, I would definitely just recommend sticking with the green stuff. This is so much better. Life is so much better. Don't have the shitty hangover feeling. Don't act like a friggin' idiot in public unless you want to. Alright, should we get this dinghy in the water?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Maybe,
How many minutes?
2.
Actually, yeah, I was like that too. I mean, I I was, I guess that was probably my whole persona in high school was a stoner all up until my mid 20s. And then when I met Jess, she never tried it and it was always against it. So I kind of was pretty much stopped for almost 10 years and went full blown alcoholic when we first started sailing. I would drink from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed every day. Otherwise, I would be worthless. If I wanted to stop drinking for a little while, I would need to be in bed for probably at least 24 to 48 hours to cure that hangover and not be around people. And as soon as I started drinking again, yeah, I would just keep going and going and going and going. And then finally, as soon as in 2023, after my sister's wedding, I got back to Panama and asked this chick if she could get me weed, and she got it. She hooked me up. She got me in touch with her friend, and I started smoking and stopped drinking. And I think Jess was even impressed with the change in me, and been going strong since October 2023. I quit vaping nicotine and drinking at the same time and just started smoking weed. And it's been good ever since. I would smoke in the morning when I woke up in Tahiti. I would wake up at like 4:30 in the morning. I would get on. I would trade do some stock trading, and then I would go for, then I would smoke a little bit, and then I would go for an hour-long hike up into the mountains every day in Tahiti. Not every day in Tahiti, but every day for a couple months. And I mean, that was, if anyone was here when I was talking about how the whole package fiasco earlier, about how we were stuck in Tahiti waiting on a boat part, and when it finally arrived in January, I was in such a little rhythm that I wasn't even in a rush to get that new piece put on our boat. But that was why I would wake up in the morning, do a day trading or watch some stocks. And there was a point there, like I only tried it out for a couple weeks, the day trading, but yeah, I actually started thinking that I could make some money, because I was making at least $400 or $500 per day, trading stocks. And then there was one day where I had I had a losing trade, and I was like, I'm gonna just keep holding it because I know it's gonna go back up. I know it's gonna go back up. Usually what I was doing was I was buying a stock and then trading it within minutes or like just taking small jumps, but I was taking a large enough position that my profit would be like $500 or $600, sometimes 1,000, sometimes 1,500. But yeah, one time I decided to hold on to that losing stock over the weekend. I'm like, Monday it'll go back up, Monday it'll go back up. Monday it started going back up. So at one point I was down $2,000, and on Monday morning it started going back up. And once I was down by, I think instead of $2,000, my loss was about $1,000. I decided to cash out, and because it looked like it might stay and not go up anymore, or go down, I was a little worried. And as soon as I sold it, it ended up going up so much that my profit would have been probably like $7,000 instead of $1,000 loss. If I would have just held it for another 10 minutes, it would have been like a $7,000 profit. And then I think I kind of got discouraged after that, and then we flew back to the United States and saw some family. And well, the main reason was because we thought we were going to sell our boat, and we were starting to bring some of our personal belongings back to keep at my dad's house. And then I came back. I think I did a couple more day trades for like a week. And then the economy started going down, and I didn't want to short trade, although I know how to short trade. And when I was doing my practice trading with fake money, most of my profits came from short trading. I didn't want to do it with real money because you could lose more than what you actually have in the account. So when the economy started going down, I decided to cash out all my money and just I kept it as cash. And then after the tariffs and everything, I just bought Nvidia, and yeah, now it's pretty profitable. And I'm just hoping Nvidia continues to go up. I think maybe I could go back, just cash all of my Nvidia stock out now and go back to the day trading. But I don't know if it's a bull market now or if it's a bear market, because we still got the fear of tariffs. Yeah, I was pissed, man. I mean, but that's the thing. I was still, because the week before that was a Friday that I was down $2,000, and the days before that I was making $1,000 per day before that. So overall for the week I was still profitable, like $1,500. So even if I would have took that $2,000 loss, I was still profitable for the week. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I wish I would have cashed out at a loss sooner, because that was the right thing to do. I should have cashed out on a loss sooner. We're going to be putting the dinghy in the water here in a minute or two. Yeah, I mean, and I only drink beer. I don't like liquor. Felonies happen when I do liquor. So I would only drink beer. And yeah, that's a lot of calories when you drink beer. And I was drinking probably, I would say a very slow day for me. If I didn't start till like 6 or 7 in the afternoon, I would probably say I would drink a 12 pack. But if I started early on in the day, it was probably a full 24 pack per day.
Nobody that knows.
Son of Aphrodite said, "Hi, Diva."
Oh. Hey.
All right, so I actually got sidetracked talking. We're gonna do this the right way.
Lexi, that's enough.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm switching the mounts on the camera so I could try to use the suction cup mount to get a better angle, because what we're going to be doing, I don't think I could get a good angle with the tripod. Still learning all this shit out. Okay, now. Shut up!
Oh.
Whoa, what's going on?
Well,
Yeah, that was holding it off of the...
yeah, I see that.
Jess is trying to pop our dinghy, guys. Oh, what the fuck? This thing's not broken already, is it? Oh, there we go. And then which one adjusts this? So, is that the best view? Can we tilt back without, is that too much to ask? That might be what we got.
Yeah, I would be too scared to have it on here.
What?
The mount suction onto the solar panel. Because if it falls, that's it.
Yeah. No, I would never trust the suction cup mount outside of.
The cockpit.
That would need to be a clamp on. Like, I don't even remember where we had a clamp on. Oh, like this. Like this could be put on, like out here like this.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, for once you're in the dinghy, I guess.
Yeah, but this is what we normally have our iPad mounted on for navigation. But when we're out at sea, you don't really got to be looking at navigation that much. I'm sure fucking a lot of sailors will disagree, but fuck them.
I mean, if you're really out there for extended periods of time, you don't need it to look at it that frequently.
Especially if you have radar and you could set targets or an AIS. You just pop your head up every once in a while, every friggin' 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes. This is our painter, so this is the line that we use to tie off the dinghy every time we get to a dock or whatever. So we're gonna clip this onto a cleat on the boat, so when we put it in the water, it's still attached to the boat.
Still referencing Home Alone.
What did I reference?
You were humming when the uncle's in the shower and he's...
I whistled that?
Yeah, you whistled that.
I didn't even pay attention.
It's like part of your being. Cool cat. What does he say? Does he say cool cat?
King of the cool
Cat.
Get out of here, you nosy little pervert! I'm gonna slap you silly. Oh.
Cooking up in here. Whatever he says.
You're cooking with Frankie.
Oh, all the lines in the water.
Yours.
Fine. Wait, okay. Oh, goodness.
It's our shortest. We have one short line that Jess has to make sure she holds on to.
And then one crazy long line, which is this one over here.
I mean, now that we're gonna stay on the boat for a while, we can start probably doing things right. Now I'm motivated to do things right and shit. We can make the lines the right size and
What?
I'll kick something with my little toe.
Oh, you were taking on water. Gotta plug up. Are you okay? I guess I don't. Oh, they could see you.
Hey. Oh, hey, what's up?
We can't.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, we're live. We spun for a second.
Gosh dang, nailed it.
So just securing the pins or whatever this is called.
I couldn't see what this boat is called. All I could see is it says Viking on the side, which is the type of blade it is.
Oh, really?
Wait, what
Sorry.
kind of... What kind of...
Hold tight.
I am.
It doesn't look like it.
What kind did our broker have?
I would have never remembered that. Okay. So now Matt's going around. And then I just clean up the lines. I already threw our grocery bag in the so that way we're good to go. But I don't know, if, it doesn't look like I'm doing it, but I just, when I go around like this, I do a slight little twist at the top to prevent the line from twisting around. It's just a slight little flick of the wrist. And this is my least favorite line. It's crazy how lines get so easily tangled. Like I didn't even use the rest of this and it's already tangled. Which is why it's important when you're sailing to always keep your lines nice and neat, because in the event of an emergency or like you need to react quickly, you're not messing with tangled lines. Like you don't have time to untangle lines, right? Or trip over them. What?
No, I'm just thinking about what I gotta get.
You gotta get your bag.
Well, I also was gonna show the dinghy again.
Okay.
All the things.
All the things.
Let's swap. It went out. We're gonna switch around the camera. And there's the dinghy on the side of the boat. Lexi's piss pad. I don't know if the camera makes out, but we have freaking some kind of deodorizer powder poured all over to try to get rid of the concentrated piss smell. And then I put on this little wind scoop. I know it's going to be windy for you guys for a little bit. Just bear with me and I'll get us back into protection. But yeah, I added those little, there's one on the other side too, to try to funnel the wind into the boat a little bit. We have all hatches open. This one has to slam shut all the time, so we keep it open with a fender. Yeah, there's the dinghy. We don't have a name for it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we could name him Blip. I wanted to name our boat Blip. What's my, I could show you the temperature. Oh, come on. So I don't know if you could make out, but it says 87.8 with 71% humidity. It's not too bad. I mean, it's also a little cloudy out. Yeah, screw that kind of weather. That's the one thing I was looking forward to with Hawaii was the temperature, because I feel like it's more of like a all year long it's in the 70s, which is for me.
Shelly's been there, so she could tell you.
Yeah, Shelly, I mean, would you say that's true? '87's okay if you have working fans and you're not going to do anything. The second you want to do boat work, I think that you probably want it to be maybe closer to 55 actually, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Because then you start getting friggin' sweaty and trying to cram into all the small places, because everything on a boat is in a small friggin' place that you can't cram into.
You have everything you need?
I just need to fill up on a drink.
Okay, and Lexi's gotta go poop poop. Come on. Go ahead.
The temperature in Hawaii, Shelly. Fuck, I forgot what I was asking you for a second. Would you say that the temperature in Hawaii is normally like in the 70s? I feel like I read that before I ever went to Hawaii, and that was my experience, that it's normally always 70, like 75 to 78 during the day. I don't know where I put the tripod now. What the fuck? There it is. Water, but not all the way up. So what, does it get colder if the trade winds are blowing? So then 70 is the warmest that it gets. Like high 70s is the warmest it gets. Go fishing. I mean, I'll probably be fishing tomorrow if you want to tune in. Because we're getting ready. We're going to be checking out of Bora Bora tomorrow. Well, we're going to talk to the cops now about checking out of Bora Bora. And we're going to be sailing to Fiji, which is 18 days. So we're going to be out at sea doing some deep sea fishing. I guess I might as well throw the old rod in the old lure in the water. This is what I got. I know nothing about fishing. This is my blankie that I've had since I was a newborn baby that my Aunt Diane made me.
Yeah, bed hasn't been made. Dad expects me to make the bed.
So this is my fishing rod. I don't even remember what the hell it is. And it's not focusing.
Over here, it says, I don't know, something about tackle.
Yeah, that's for the...
Eat my tackle.
Yeah, that's the rod. Oh, there's my underwear. I haven't really... Did I catch anything on this yet? I don't even think I've caught anything on that yet. This is my old rod. This is a Penn 30 LW.
I feel like you caught
A
that
squall.
tuna.
Did I catch the tuna on the big... Okay, then I caught a small tuna on this rod and reel. And then on this rod and reel... Oh, and there's... I don't think I got... Maybe I got your underwear in. But on this one I've gotten some...
Several mahi.
Yeah, several mahi, tuna.
Grouper.
No, that was a snapper.
Oh.
And I might have, I don't know because it had snapped the line immediately, but I think it might have been a marlin or something big.
I think it was a marlin. It was
But
massive.
this thing doesn't work for me anymore, actually. Like now I can't reel it, like it just slips. Like you can't put a tension on for you to reel it back in. It's if there's any kind of fish pulling on it, it could be an inch long fish. You can't reel it in. It just slips. It keeps slipping. And I had it repaired in Panama and it broke immediately again. So there's that. And this whole time I've been trying to make some iced tea for myself before we leave. So let me get this in the tripod. This is for Dan, Dirty Dishes.
He likes to point them out.
Where did you put my drink? Oh, in the sun. Yeah, it's something internally that is stripping or something that doesn't allow you to tighten up the drag. Awesome. Thanks, Gavin. I appreciate it. I hope that we could make some stuff that you enjoy watching here. Hopefully we're going to be at it for at least another year here, sailing around the world. Our plan is to go from here to Fiji, to Vanuatu, to Indonesia, to Thailand, off the coast of Australia, across the Indian Ocean, to Madagascar, South Africa, Namibia, across the Atlantic Ocean back to the Caribbean, which would have us completing a circumnavigation of the globe. Like a friggin' regular modern day Ferdinand Magellan. Yeah, that's what my brother-in-law always tells us about the dishes. Anytime we video inside and you get a look at the kitchen, you'll see dirty dishes.
No, they were clean that time. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah, even when they're clean, he'll call them out.
There'll always be clean and or dirty dishes in the kitchen, obviously.
Yeah, here's all the clean ones. We got this really cool nesting set of pots that technically they would all fit inside each other, but since we don't have a very big space for them, they're all kind of out right now. Yeah, so we're getting ready here to head into town and tell the police that we are leaving the country tomorrow. It's been fun. We've been in French Polynesia now for over a year. It's time to move on.
I'm going to send a quick video to.
Okay. I really would like to know too what time of day people would prefer to be watching videos. I mean, I guess I can't really guarantee when cool stuff is going to happen in our life. But I could also probably plan to just have videos where we just sit and chill and talk on planned days that work for most people. My cat's hanging out under my wife's underwear. And my dog is hanging out right behind the camera. Oh, what's up? Say what's up. Oh, shit, I forgot she's recording something for someone. Give me paw. Okay, fuck you then. Say hi to Shelly, Lexi. Hey, who's that? Who's it? Who is that? Tell them we don't want no ruckus. We don't want no ruckus, god damn it. Tell them. God damn it.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Bring her down, please.
Shelly wants to be the dog walker.
Yay! She could totally be the dog walker.
Yeah, we need an 80-foot boat if we're gonna start having crew that's dog walker. I think chef first, someone that knows engines and stuff second. Then I guess then the dog walk. I mean, I don't really have that much I need.
Well, sailing? Wouldn't you want someone to help with the sailing?
Sailing's easy.
Sailing's easy.
Any idiot could do that.
Ha 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 ha.
All right, let's make like a shepherd and get the flock out of here.
So your only thing that you want is candy?
What's up, Ian? I mean, if there's fresh fruits and vegetables, we can get whatever you would think you would want for as long as the first week of sailing. I mean, we could get more potatoes. They'll last long. Peas. We should get more peas.
I wonder what happened to my fanny pack. Okay.
What time is 5 a.m. for East Coast would be what, 11 p.m. here?
Yeah.
I could friggin' just get really fucked up at night and friggin' do like a morning chat. It'd be night for me while people are waking up.
While you're sailing at night, entertain, you can go live.
Yeah, I mean, that's
And
why I
it'll
think
be
we need a
morning.
bigger audience where we have people that are not just East Coast people, because who the fuck's gonna be going on a live at 5 a.m. Eastern, which is nighttime here? Well, I guess later on it would be like 10
Like
a.m.
midnight for you is 6 a.m. for them.
Who
There's
wants to go on a live at 6 a.m.? All these motherfuckers want to go on a live at 6 a.m. Well, for Shelly it would be 3 a.m.
Well, Shelly wouldn't be able to make it.
Shelly would probably be friggin' out partying at that time anyway.
But I mean, Matt's shift. I don't really prefer to do night shift, to be honest. I'll do it if I have to, but for shorter periods of time. So typically his shift is until I go to sleep, which I go to sleep anywhere between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. And then all the way up until 2, 3, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning, he'll be awake. And then I get up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning until whatever time he decides to get up. Sometimes he'll get up at 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Then I take a little nap, then he takes a little nap, and then we're both awake for a brief period of time to have dinner and all of that in the afternoon.
No, my quote is, if I drink liquor, felonies happen. Not 3 a.m.
Yeah, so he's honestly awake
And
for
Jess
most of
is
the
out
night.
here repping other YouTubers on my YouTube channel.
Oh, I mean, I went to sleep with this, so.
That's a Sailing Uma shirt.
Oh yeah, she gave it to me. I forgot. Kika.
That's my shirt.
Is it?
Yeah, yours was like purple, I think.
Oh, I don't
And it
know.
was a woman's size.
I don't know what happened to mine. Anyways, I don't know. This makes sounds.
You could get out without.
Okay. Time to go.
Okay, so
It's 11.
We'll end it. We'll get in the dinghy, and I'll go around the boat once, and then we'll end it. Dun, 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 dun.
Where's your hat? Do you want a hat?
It's right there. All right, all you live viewers on YouTube that are out here in Bora Bora, we're about to leave our boat unattended.
Oh, I'm gonna take this trash just in case.
I feel bad, but yeah, I guess one day maybe I could talk about publicly about the friggin' last felony that I committed while I was drunk on liquor, because the person who was the victim is dead. That probably sounds bad.
It does.
But
He's
it's-
referring to
no,
his
no.
mom who passed away.
No, I'm talking about the friggin' owner of the bar
Oh.
who I friggin' stole beer from.
Oh.
But there might be a time frame on how long you could get in trouble for that shit.
It is windy. Get in there.
That's what she said.
But always forgetting that thingy key.
Never mind, it's in my
Okay. Idiot, jerk, idiot. Which one are you?
I also don't know how much fuel we have. We might have to go get some fuel.
Okay, we could get fuel. Get us started.
We're gonna do a quick once around of the boat. Maybe that'll make our neighbors think we're like some big shots or something. Jess is trying to pull us up to take the line off, but it's just filming her ass.
Shoes are already in the dinghy, so we don't have to think about it.
There she is. Let's hope that my Starlink reached all the way out here. The dark side of the moon. Hey. And that's it. Check my blue bag. So I think we're gonna call it quits here.
Bye guys, thanks for tuning in.
She's gonna check my dry bag to make sure I brought the passports in case we need them. I'm gonna get back close to the Wi-Fi. And yeah, I don't know. I always say this, I feel, but maybe I would go live later on tonight for people that aren't on the East Coast. Just see if any strangers want to drop in and chat. I usually have no view though because it's dark out, so it'd be just a view of me. But if not, we'll be live probably tomorrow, checking out. So, see you guys.
Bye.